Good morning, everyone. Here we are, mid-December. The time is going quickly. Well, not quickly enough considering the year we've had, but we thought we'd drop in for a little visit today and talk about decorations. You still have time to make some decorations for Christmas for this year, for your own pleasure to look at, or to give as a gift or on a gift. And of course, January and February often are slow months, so you'll have lots of time to make some decorations for our next quilt show Christmas tree, whatever year it might be. And we're always looking for decorations to go on the tree, so I have a couple of ideas here for you. The first idea I have I thought was pretty cute. Of course, it's your traditional, typical Santa, but it makes up quickly and can be used for several things. You could easily hang it as a decoration. You could lay it on your kitchen table or your table at Christmas time with a napkin slid underneath his jacket, or if it's nicely on top, if you want to, if you're gifting a bottle of wine or something that it would slide over. It wouldn't cover the whole thing, but it's a cute topping on it. And then they would have that as a decoration after. It's called the Log Cabin Santa, and I put in the email the site where you can find to follow along to make it. Very simple to make, I found, so obviously it must be easy to follow. And it's not quite the log cabin, but you start with a 2.5-inch square. You put a 1-inch piece across the top, bottom, or I'm sorry, side, top, and bottom. You just continue around all one color and do the same until you're out about 8.5 inches. Now, I went with traditional colors, the red and black and white, but I've seen them done in shades of blue. I've seen silver and gold. They're lovely in those colors. I just happen to want to pick the one to resemble Santa. So the colors you choose is certainly personal. I went with his beard, jacket, belt, pants, and boots. Now, because you're only using 1-inch strips, they don't have to be quality 100% cotton. And the bottom, my boots, which would represent the boot, is not even cotton. It was, I was hemming a pair of pants for my son. They were too long, so I cut some off, and they made a great pair of boots for my Santa. So, because you're not quilting or making a quilt, you certainly can use different types of fabric, but whatever colors you want. After you have done your blocks about your block about 8.5 inches. Take a second piece of fabric, and remember what you want this piece of fabric to be the color of the hat. So you put them right sides together, trace a line down the center as you would for a half-square triangle, sew on either side, cut it down the middle, and you end up with 2 Santas. So one I finished and the other one I left not quite so we could look at it. When you go to work on after you've cut it out and you have as I say, the second fabric is your hat, when you fold it back, you can one way of doing it is just to fold back each side, tack it, and you can just have it flat. If you're using it for a napkin holder, have it flat on the table that way. I wanted mine finished to slide over something. So what I did is you take your hat, similar as you did for the 15-minute runner last month, sew your seam down here, turn it right side out, and you have your hat finished. Just fold it over and you put a pom-pom or a bell or whatever you want on Santa's hat. Pretty cute, and they make up fast. You can give him a nose and mouth if you want. I didn't bother. He certainly might want one. And anyway, it's up to you to decorate from that point on. And I have, as I say, the site for the directions for him. But they're pretty cute. The second one is a decoration that almost looks like a flower, but it's kind of a cute idea. It's the two colors, whatever colors you're looking for, and I just put a button in the middle of each one. It's extremely simple. You take your two colors, 8-inch circles. I used luncheon plate and just traced around it, and right sides together, and sew around the edge, leaving a space, of course, so you can get it right side out. Turn it this way and sew around the edge again so it lays flat. Now, I wanted to try it with plain color fabric because I had done the different designs. So I just added a fancy stitch around the edge just for a little bit of color and for something different. Now, find the very center of half of it and tack these two together. Find this center here and tack this down. And when you fold this back, it makes your little collar or your flower petal. You do that 4 times and you have your little flower. Again, the directions will be in the email for that. But they're cute and they do up so quickly that you certainly have time for this year and a few extra for the quilt show Christmas tree. Those are 2 cute ideas. The third one, I have to smile every time I see these guys. I don't know why, they just crack me up. The third one that I'm going to send a pattern for is Chris, and his name is Chris Moose. And they're as cute as can be. The felt is the antlers, ears, and head, and you're using flannelette or flannel for the little shirt and scarf. And of course you can just decorate the face. I thought they were cute, especially for boys. You get lots of cute angel-like and delicate Christmas decorations for girls, but sometimes it's harder to find them for boys, or I used to find when I was looking for them. And I thought this is a real cute idea. Now the pattern will be included in the email, and they don't take long either, but they're as cute as can be. They don't take very much fabric, and don't take much of the felt. I have done quite a bit of work in felt because it's nice to work with. You can carry it with you, and you can either buy it by the, I was going to say yardage, by the meters, or the little squares. Even at the dollar store, you get a couple for $1, and therefore you can have as many different colors as you want. But they're simple and easy to work with, and they turn out so cute. And of course, you can make whatever color head you want. Now, Marlene has, of course, completed a lot of decorations, and she works a lot with felt also. One thing that I use for patterns, and she did too, is cookie cutters. So if you're using felt, you can make this out of cotton also and just sew it together. But it was from a cookie cutter. You're cutting out 2. She blanket stitched them together, decorated it, and stuffed it so it's nice and chubby, like a little gingerbread man should be. And of course, one is never enough. So the felt is a great medium to work with, and you can get different colors. Now some of them have like sparkles on, so this could be used for Valentine's Day, or I'm going to decorate some red on it, and it'd be okay for Christmas also. And again, this is your cookie cutter. This is just from a cookie cutter. I took it out of the cupboard and traced it for my felt. This is again cookie cutter. And this one this one is just one side, if you're just hanging up flat. I made this 2 sides, and of course you need your heel and toe, and you can also, the top is left open that you can fill it, so it's nice and fluffy and chubby. So Marlene did a lot of them, a lot of stars, and of course she did a lot of bead work and embroidery work on them. So you can put as much or as little time as you wish. These 2 were just glued together. These were 2 put together, and she blanket stitched them. They make lovely designs. This one is the sparkly one. I'm going to put it together sort of at an angle and do some embroidery work on it. I left them at different stages so you'd see them in the process and when they're finished, because it doesn't take long to go from one stage to the other. Now, besides cookie cutters, you can use, I copied this out of a quilt pattern book, and it was an applique for a wall hanging, applique piece for a wall hanging. Again, I just did two, and they're, if they twirl around, they're all ready for both sides. And this is a different size, same idea, but a different size. And I found this from wall hanging. I thought that was pretty, the dove for the Christmas season. Just the two sheets together, blanket stitched. This was a pattern that I found in a book. Thought it was pretty cute. Just white felt on the back. And one of my favorites is a little penguin. And again, this was a pattern, but there's all kinds of patterns on the internet. And I have the pattern for both of those if anybody's looking for it. I found, well, Marlene had given me a pattern, but also you can find a pattern on the internet just for one leaf. And if you put a bunch together, you end up with poinsettia. So you don't need to buy patterns. They're everywhere without you realizing. You probably have them every which way in your home and don't realize it. The red poinsettia, whatever color you want. Now they have them every color. Not just red anymore, they're every color. You can buy patterns, kits. This was a kit that Gloria made for me of Mrs. Santa. She's waiting patiently at home for Santa to come home from his night of overtime. And the little earrings and everything were included in the kit. So you don't have to go looking for the pieces. They're all there for you. That's a great convenience if you're in a hurry or you don't need more of one thing. It's pretty cute. Last year, Linda Perzio was talking about saving our spools and doing something Christmas-like with them. So I happened to go through a couple lately. I happened to finish a couple of spools of thread lately, and I had a couple empty. So I just made myself a little Christmas list of things I would like, and of course it's bobbins, tape, rulers, thread, scissors, anything sewing related. This is a good idea for our tree at the Quilt Guild because it's sewing related. Second one, I just have a piece of fabric with a ribbon down the middle. Anything to, anything to brighten things up and whatever color you want. Just a piece of plaid would be pretty on there too. So you're not having to buy many things. You can find things around. Now at the dollar store you can always find things. And they don't have to be Christmas related necessarily, but you can make a Christmas decoration out of it. For example, this is just a little wooden heart and a little bead for the head, piece of lace, and you have a little Christmas angel. So a lot of it is just looking through magazines and books and getting ideas and then putting your ideas together. This is just a little tin star from the dollar store, and Marlene made a cute little snowman out of them with the hat and the face, and you can decorate to any extent. Cathedral windows are cute. Now this one is fussy cut with kind of a very thin suede-like fabric around it. So the fabric is just glued down. And that would be good for this fabric, and you could use felt. I think you could use felt and do the same. You can't cotton because it would fray. So if you can find fabric that doesn't fray, a cathedral window is a cute idea, and then you put your fussy cut cotton piece in the center. And of course, some people crochet. So Marlene had crocheted a little, looks like a little flower, and put drew the face of a little wooden bead in the center. Years ago, I crocheted this poinsettia. It was supposed to be a pot holder, but I didn't know enough to put batting in it, and I couldn't use it for a pot holder because of the holes. It wouldn't be much good for that, but it was cute to hang up, and it was just a different idea. So besides sewing and gluing, and you can certainly crochet. I knit this little stocking years ago. You might be a knitter and you want to try something that way. It doesn't have to always be something sewn with cotton, but they are cute, the ones that are. This was crochet cotton I did with the sugar starch. That was when I was younger and had patience and better eyesight to make those. And I even made the little Christmas mouse. So there are lots of ideas and lots of things to do. And of course, if you're ambitious like Gloria or like to work with miniatures or small items, there's always the beautiful Christmas miniature items. Isn't that lovely? So lots and lots of ideas. Again, I thought these two were cute for this month. Your Santa for either a decoration or to slide over a gift that you're making, and your little flower idea. And of course, I'm sure you have many, many different ideas than these, but there's just a couple that we come up with that thought would be cute, and my friend Chris. So I hope Christmas is peaceful and happy in your home, and that 2021 will be nicer to us all, nicer and kinder to us all. And I'll see you next month. Merry Christmas.